Hey everybody, it's Pastor Scott here, and I hope that you had a good Easter break. I know it was a really challenging last month plus before school was over for the quarter as we moved everything online. So I know that was a challenge, and I hope that this week that you've had off was a good time for you to just relax, rest, kind of get back to neutral a little bit. I'm recording this actually on Friday, the 17th, so you're still on your break right now as I'm recording this, but you should be watching this video on Tuesday, and I hope that you're just rested. I hope that it was a good break for you. I hope you had a good Easter celebration, and that you had a good time at home. It's looking like, as I'm sure you're aware by now, that school is going to continue like this, doing things online, at least for a little while. I don't know if we're going to be getting back into the live classroom setting at Northwest this year, but I'm hopeful that we will, maybe eventually. Don't really know for sure, but we'll just kind of wait and see. So that being said, over the next several weeks, probably at least through the first half of this quarter, we're going to keep doing school this way in an online setting like this. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about what that's going to look like here moving forward. So just listen for that. Before I do that, I want to mention some things about last quarter. I know that some of you had some challenges getting some assignments to me as the quarter drug on. We had a lot of assignments. I know because we're not able to do a live classroom thing, I just was kind of using a video and assignment model, and so there were a lot of assignments. Many of which, because there were so many of them, a lot of the grades really weren't worth a whole lot of points. And I know that some of you had some problems getting assignments to me. I think maybe there was a little bit of laziness there. Maybe some of you, it was just because of some technical difficulties, and I know that a couple of you mentioned some challenges with computer issues and things like that, something I totally understand. Because I couldn't, it's really hard for me to gauge what the real issue is with everybody, and because everybody kind of has different challenges. If you didn't get an assignment to me, I didn't give you an incomplete, I gave you a 50. And I thought this was kind of a fair compromise. This way, you don't have any zeros on your grade sheet, but you're also not getting full credit for it, because those who did the assignment and got it turned in on time should get full credit, and they did. And I thank everybody for doing that. But this was just kind of because I know that things are really hard. I know that things were difficult for the last month, getting things in on time, doing school online. It's different. I just thought that was a good compromise. So that's what I did. If you didn't get assignments to me, you got a 50. And moving into this quarter, um, I, I can try to have a little bit of lenience when we're just getting started, but I really think that moving into this quarter, we want to try to be as responsible as we possibly can. You all turned assignments into me. Everybody turned at least most of their assignments into me, which shows me that you know how to do it. So this quarter, we're going to try to be responsible. I'm going to hold you accountable. There are not going to be 50s if you don't get things to me. If you're not turning things into me, you're going to get zeros, and I think that that's fair. You know, most of you are as smart as, if not smarter than me. Probably most of you are smarter than me when it comes to computers and technology and all of that. So I think that you know how all this works. And moving forward, we're just going to try to be as responsible as possible. This quarter, we're going to be aiming to cover 2 units. So covering 2 units, Unit 6, which deals with society and sociology, and Unit 7, which deals with the basis or the foundation for law and order in society. Our goal is to get through 2 units. We'll see how things shake out. That's the hope. We're not going to finish the book as much as I would like to. It's just not going to happen. I don't think any eighth grade has ever finished the Light Bearers book, but we're going to try to get as far through these 2 units as possible. And so I'll talk a little more about that here in a second. I know that last quarter I was requiring of you one sermon engagement paragraph instead of two. Only 2 of you turned it into me. And again, because I know that things were a little bit weird moving online, I just scrapped the assignment. So none of you lost any points for not getting that to me. But if you turned it into me, and those of you who did it know who you are, if you turned it into me, you don't have to turn one in this next quarter. If you didn't turn it into me, then you owe me one sermon engagement paragraph for this quarter. that's starting this week when you're watching it. I know we're doing church online. Everybody's watching sermons and things from their pastors online. So do a sermon engagement paragraph, type it up, turn it in to me either through Classroom or to my email or something like that. In fact, I'll create a little assignment thing so that you can turn it in there to me, and I'll just make the due date the end of the quarter so you can get that to me. So if you already did it, you don't have to turn it in. If you've not done it yet, you have to turn one in for a grade this quarter. So that being said, this quarter, what we're going to do every week, we're going to try to have 2 or 3 lessons where there's maybe a video or something like we were doing last quarter with some questions to answer, and it's going to be somewhat similar to what we were doing last quarter. But the difference is I'm going to try to get some live some live time with you, either using Google Meets or Zoom or something like that. That's really challenging for me, and I know it's challenging for a lot of you as well. So if we do this, it will be very minimal. It's not going to be every week. There might just be a couple of times when we do a Google Meet thing. And if we do, it will be in our normal class time about 8:30 in the morning. So just keep posted for that. We're not going to do it every week. Certainly not going to do it every day. It might just be here and there over the course of the quarter. We're going to have some of those meetings, and if we ever do, it'll be 8:30 in the morning, whenever it is. And I'll let you know about that. But for the most part, every week is going to look like it looked like every week last quarter online. A few videos, a couple, some assignments, some questions to answer, and you turn it in to me. You and I will talk back and forth on your private comments on your assignment and things like that. This week, the first week of the quarter, since we're starting a new unit, which is Unit 6 on Society and Sociology. Give me just a second here. I don't want to move too much because I don't want to drop the microphone out of my the top of my shirt. But Unit 6 is where we're going to be starting this week. Bear with me for just a second. Sorry if turning the pages here is loud for you. But since we're going to be starting a new unit, you're going to have reading to do this week on your own, and that you're going to find that in your Light Bearers book on page 139. 139. In keeping with typical, it's a fairly long reading, but it doesn't look like it's quite as long as other units, so you should be able to do this. That being said, you're going to read The World of Ideas for Unit 6, What Makes a Healthy Society, and then in a couple of days after you have sufficient time to read this, I will post an assignment with some questions engaging you on your reading. So use the time that you would usually use in class, 8:30 to 9 in the morning, to do the reading. You do the reading on your own pace. Try to maybe take notes if you'd like to, and then in a couple of days I'll post an assignment with some questions. Actually, probably what will happen, let me rephrase this. Probably what will happen is you'll read for a couple of days, and then I might get back on, say maybe on Friday, give a little sort of summary video like I usually try to reflect on the reading, and then ask you some questions to answer to be due Tuesday. That's probably what we'll do. So you're watching this Tuesday, you have the next couple of days to get the reading done, and then on Friday I'll make another video, have it uploaded early in the morning, and then you can then you'll have some questions to answer for me. And that's generally, it'll kind of look like that every week. So hope that's good for you. I've been talking long enough. It's 9 minutes. I wanted to give you a shorter video today than even this. But it was the first video of the quarter, so we wanted to try to get as much information out as possible. So I hope you're well. Lord bless you. And we'll talk to you soon. Happy reading.